So this is kind of weird because we're like just in the parking lot. I've been
parking
trying
lot.
to record these like randomly.
Yeah.
Where I meet people and stuff. So.
I like the parking lot. This is a nice place. So.
Yeah, it's not bad. This is where I hang out. But I'm here with Phil Hughes from the Showboat Branson Bell. I have been to the Showboat before.
Have you?
I have.
Did you enjoy your experience at the Showboat?
It depends on the day.
You've been there multiple times, I hear.
I've been there over 4,000 times.
Wow, that's nice.
But you're new this year.
I am new this year.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like that new act smell. It's
yeah,
nice,
I smelled that immediately. You smell different when you're awake, yeah. But so you, this is your first year at the Showboat. So tell me what you were doing before you came to the Showboat.
I've been doing mainly performing on cruise ships, some college shows, corporate shows, that kind of thing. But
as a juggler, unicycle,
unicycle juggler, ventriloquist. No, just basically ventriloquism.
Yeah, talking to yourself.
Basically. Yes, I talk to myself. Yeah. Get paid for it. So.
Yeah, but you were doing cruise ships,
mainly cruise ships because they monopolize the majority of my time.
Yeah,
it's hard to book anything else.
It is because I do cruise ships as well.
Yeah,
and it's people think that it's like this grand thing, you know. They're like, "Oh, you're so lucky," but I don't enjoy it very much. Do you like it?
I liked it for many, many years. The travel got wearing on me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a nice gig from about 2008 until 2013 doing the same ship every week, and I'd fly in and out. I was on it for 5 days and would do crossover the cruises.
What cruise line?
That was Carnival.
Oh, how did that work for you?
I actually enjoyed it a lot. I normally did Holland America, Celebrities, Seabourn, Norwegian, Silver Sea. Mm-hmm. Those were wonderful, but you're on longer at a time, and you still only perform one night, maybe 2 nights in a cruise.
Right.
So Carnival was nice. I'd fly in, do my show, stay over, do another one, be gone for a total of 5 days. Mm-hmm. You're basically paid for 2 weeks, and then go home and wait for the end of the next cruise. So it was nice.
Yeah, it was all right.
Or I'd fly out, and then they kept flying me every week. I would do 2 nights, fly out, do my show, get home, go home the next day.
Oh, on Carnival ships, you
nice.
think it's going to be a week, but it ends up being 2 weeks because the ship breaks down.
I didn't say that.
I did.
Watch it. No, it was nice, but just the constant flying, it's very tiring.
It is tiring, and people don't realize it. I say that being on a cruise ship is like being in a gilded cage. Like, it's great. You have so many things that you can do, but you're stuck there. Yeah. And after a while, after you've done everything.
Right. And me, I do photography, so I jump off in port and shoot the place. It's wonderful. That's nice. But after a while, when you're flying in and out every week, that's nice because you get to go home. But too much time in airports and just tired all the time.
Especially now. It's just a pain with all the connections and all that stuff.
Yes.
It's not enjoyable. That's what I warn people when they travel with me. Stick with me. I know how to get through the lines really quick, and I don't screw around.
That's right.
I follow certain people through the security lines, nobody with kids or a stroller or a wheelchair.
Yep.
I tend to follow my Asian friends through. They travel a lot, so they know how to get through. They got slip-on shoes. They're not wearing belts.
It doesn't work for me. My wife is Asian, and she's slower than I am through these lines. I don't know why. So, I tell her to follow me. So.
Yeah. There you go.
No, she's good.
Cruise ships are a whole different thing, though, because especially Carnival, because you do a show, and I don't know. I hate doing port days, which, because the people are tired. They come back. They're sunburnt. They pay an outrageous amount of money to get their hair braided because they think it looks good. Nothing is hotter than a girl with corn rows and a burnt scalp. And so then they come into your show, and so I usually try to request not to do a port night.
It's tough because it depends on the port, and it depends on your audience. Some of them are great. But if it's a late port day and it's hot and sunny, they're tired, they're beat, they've been all over the place. Yeah, you're right. It's a tough crowd.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
And it's different than doing the Showboat because people can get up and leave and they can...
Yes.
They're not necessarily there to see you. They pop in to see what the show is.
They happen to say, hey, there's a show tonight. Let's go see it.
Yeah, we don't want to go see karaoke again.
Right.
Let's go see this show.
Yeah.
So you can't... I tell people that do cruise ships the first time, you can't take it personally when people are getting up and leaving and that sort of thing.
I try not to get them to get up and leave, but
No, but
if you keep the audience lights off, you can't see that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I leave the lights on because I like to see them. So.
Do you mainly do Caribbean cruises?
No, all over. I've done all 7 continents, including Antarctica.
Me too.
Absolutely love it. It's been if we had to pay to see all the places that we've seen for free and get paid for, actually, it would be unbelievably expensive.
That's what I say.
There's no way I could have seen all of that.
It's like a paid vacation.
Yeah, I've been very blessed to do that. I mean, I've just been everywhere, and I still travel out of the country for that. It's wonderful. So
yeah. And it's nice to see other cultures. And,
yes.
And what I've learned with cruise ships is how to entertain different types of people. The British humor, it's very, very different. I did an around-the-world cruise, one of my first cruises. I was on there, and different people would go on and off the ship every few weeks, and so you got different cultures as you went around.
Right.
And it was interesting.
It's challenging. I had a regular ship, the Marco Polo, out and most of the time I'd go to Europe.
They found that?
They did. They did.
Okay.
They found it. It was in a pool.
Of course. I do that at Starbucks. I tell my name is Marco. So they stand there, Marco, and I just never answer until they say it like 10 times. Or I tell my name is Dad, and they're going, Dad? Oh, anyways, so Marco Polo.
We should do that one day.
I don't go to
Marco.
Starbucks. I'm kidding.
I don't go to Starbucks. We'll go to Denny's. Anyway.
Nobody goes to Denny's. You end up
at Denny's. That's right. And it used to be when there was a smoking section, you would say, is it the mutant section or the non-mutant section, basically, is what it was. So,
yeah, well, here
it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, that's the way it looked, So anyway, the drunks were over on one side. But anyway. I was over in Europe every other week. I'd go every 2 weeks, go out for a couple of weeks, come back.
Right.
And I got really good at playing to that audience because it was such an interesting mix of Europeans. I had people from Asia. It was a really neat eclectic mix, including some U.S. citizens as well. And it kind of honed your craft a little bit. Then after being away from that for a number of years, doing predominantly U.S. acts again, your act gets honed for that, and you go back out and get thrust in that situation. Right. And it's tough to make that transition.
It is.
So,
especially because I use a lot of current events in the show, or pop humor, and people in other countries that they don't quite get the Justin Bieber jokes and that sort of thing. So no, so that's a little tough.
Right.
But it's different being here in Branson. And was it culture shock coming to Branson?
Not really. I like Branson. My wife and I have actually just absolutely loved it here. It wasn't really culture shock because I grew up in the Midwest. For one thing, I grew up in Iowa. So it's very similar. But Branson is its own little beast, if you will, I think. It's you have the Midwest charm as well as the Southern influence and this entertainment that you would never see in a town this size normally. It's a small town with it's a very unique place.
It's a unique place to perform.
It's extremely unique.
Very much so.
And it's cool because I have friends here that I've known from other places, and yet you meet the normal, everyday, nice, small town, decent people that I grew up with.
Right.
And it's just a really nice mix. I like that.
Yeah.
But it's odd.
We're going to talk about that a little bit here in a few minutes. So I want to find out how your first year here in Branson has been. So we'll be right back with Phil Hughes. Thank you for supporting All Things Branson. Be sure to subscribe and stay in touch on Facebook and Twitter. Check back at allthingsbranson.com for the latest news about Branson, Missouri.